Unfortunately, it is Tuesday for me, but today is Market Watch Mondays. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Market Watch Mondays. Remember, I don't know how to flip, and this is not financial advice, okay? Just want to make that very clear. Of course, always have to pay homage to the GOAT, flipping old school. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be doing this shit. So, shout out to flipping old school, man. What a don. Then, of course, the total investment for the flipping hedge fund this time around was $1.241 billion. Unfortunately, I ran the numbers incorrectly last week. Last week, we were up 50 mil, and I don't believe I lost any money this week. And for some reason, we're only up 12 mil. So I think I ran the numbers incorrectly last week. So sorry about that. Hey, my fault. We're only up 12 mil this time around, and I'm gonna keep it a buck with you guys. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. My motivation for RuneScape has been dwindling recently, and I have not been to log on at night after I finish work to put some flips in before I go to bed. I'll be completely honest with you. I've done it a couple of times. We're up 12 mil, 13 mil, but it's just, since we stopped doing the daily vids on the main channel, there's just been a lot less that I have to do, which means there's a lot less that I want to do. So we are up money. And that's fun, but not up as much as I'm sure people would have liked at this point. But what can you do about it? Anyway, let's get into the market watch for this Monday. First item, Ring of Recoil. This one come out of nowhere. And this is one that's going in the pile of I have absolutely no idea what's going on. Rings of Recoil are now 1.1k, and this was 3 days ago. 3 days ago, the price just skyrocketed. After you see for the last month 800 GP goes up to just slightly under 1,000, and then bang, 1,600. Someone bought a whole bunch of Rings of Recoil, and I don't know why. Sufferings went up a little. My best guess, if I had to guess, is there was some sort of Yama leak. Yeah, playtesters leaking, because I think they mentioned that people would be playtesting it soon. And if you ask me, I think there's a chance that there's some sort of leak. If not from the JMods themselves, you know? The JMods do share Discords with their clan mates. And look, guys, I'm not going to sit here in tinfoil hat, but let's be honest. You're going to tell your friends. You're going to tell your friends some information. You know what I'm saying? So it's not the first time information has leaked about something, but that being said, it could just be a complete coincidence. It could be a complete coincidence that the Ring of Recoil has gone up. But we may see another mechanic like the Zulrah mechanic where the snakelings have 1 hit point and you're going to be best off just having your Ring of Suffering on the whole time. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I don't know. Rings of Recoil up for seemingly no reason, but we'll see. The travel parchment. We spoke about this last week and how I was pretty sure that LMS bots were getting banned, and that was the reason that travel parchments were going up. And as we can see, that trend has continued. The travel parchment has gone all the way from 700 all the way up to 1.4 mil. And we see the trend continuing with Rune pouch notes as well, they're staying pretty steady at 6 mil, doubled in price. Ornate maul handles also doubling in price. I think it seems as though finally Jagex have put their foot down on LMS bots and are keeping the foot down, which is fantastic. LMS has now become super profitable. I don't know how many points you can get at LMS per hour, but let me just have a look at how many GP per point you'll get. What's it? It's Justine's shop. Justine's rewards shop. GP per point here is for ornate maul handles. You're looking at 84,000 GP per point, and you get 7 points for a win, I believe. Looking at what, 10-minute games? So let's just say if you're really, really good at LMS, 6 times 7, 42 times 85,000 points, 3.5 mil an hour. 3.5 mil an hour just playing LMS if you're really, really good at it, which is just crazy to see. So no wonder the bots were so bad here. It's a lot of money, and glad to see the Jagex is finally doing something about it. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, we saw the introduction of Castle Wars crates into the game. They came out with a whole bunch of rune javelins in them, and I mean, look at it, dude. The price of rune javelins, 180 GP, pretty stable, and I can confirm, going back years and years, that's about how much rune javelins cost. And then literally the day that the update happens, immediately from 180 down to 90, because everyone was cashing in their Castle Wars crates. And yeah, that's just how it's going to be from now on. Look at the volume change. The volume change of rune javelins was just absolutely insane. And now they're just going to be at their absolute floor forever, you would assume. And same thing with rune arrows. Obviously, the volume for rune arrows is a bit higher because they come from a lot of other places. But you can see sitting pretty steady around 70 GP, and at some points this week they got to 35 GP a piece, which is lower than not just ALC price, shop price. If you can buy a rune arrow for 40 GP off the Grand Exchange, you can actually sell it to a shop for break even. So anytime you get a rune arrow under the 40 GP on the Grand Exchange, you profit. So this is the absolute 100% floor. Rune arrows can and will not ever go lower than 40 GP. And that's what they're sat at right now, because for some reason, Jagex keeps putting them inside fucking loot crates and last man standing and fucking soul wars. It makes no sense to me. No sense to me. And they're just going to continue going down. And, I don't regularly talk about the flips that I have on this channel, because people will complain that I'm trying to market manipulate. But this is one that I will 100% talk about. I have 30 million rune arrows, because every time they get down to 40 GP, every time they get this low, they cannot go lower. If there is one flip I will tell you guys is a guaranteed 100% sure thing, it's buying rune arrows for 40 GP. You cannot lose. That is my promise. You cannot lose money if you buy rune arrows for 40 GP. So it's a guaranteed flip. If you're looking for one, that's the place to find it. Anyway, moving on to the next item. The Elysian Spirit Shield. We saw a big rise with the announcement of Yama coming out, and it made it all the way from 760 up to 840 mil. Got even a little higher than that. This is just a 1 month graph, so it's kind of smoothed out. And it's come back down to about 815 at the moment. But now that Yama has an actual release date, I think we're going to see people starting to buy up more and more items. So we potentially will start to see items start to rise again over the course of the next month. And then I would imagine the closer we get to the release, that's when items will start coming back down as people sell off their investments. But yeah, that's all for the items this week. Not too much happening in the market, but obviously we have to take a look at the big three: the Scythe, the Twisted Bow, and the Shadow. First up, of course, the Twisted Bow. Over the course of the last week has lost quite a bit of value, 100 million value the Twisted Bow has lost over the course of the last week. I think people are starting to realize, just based on all of the teasers, that range is probably not going to be good at Yama, which leads people to say, all right, well, I'm going to get rid of my Twisted Bow and I'm going to buy the items that are going to be good at Yama. And we've seen a massive drop in the price of the Twisted Billington, which is quite unfortunate. So down it goes from 1.56 bill to 1.46 bill. On the way to 1 bill, guys. The Twisted Bow might go under a bill. Not a chance. It's definitely not. But then, of course, we have Tumikin Shadow, which, once again, has also gone down from 1.2 bill to about 1.35. So losing almost 100 million value. Losing almost 100 million value. Which is crazy. Because I don't know. It's weird to see two of the mega rares going down at the same time. I think it may have something to do with the fact that that by the looks of things, Demon Bane weapons will probably be the best against a demon of Yama. So people are thinking, oh, well, no point in holding on to these mega rares if they're not going to be good at the boss. So it's very, very strange. And then, of course, the Scythe. We're seeing the same thing just 3 days ago. And look, guys, let me tell you something. This is another reason why I think there has been a leak from the playtesters. Because we saw with the Rings of Recoil 3 days ago. This was 3 days ago that they went absolutely fucking crazy, right? With no rhyme or reason to it. Maybe people got some information that Rings of Recoil are going to be good at Yama. But then also, 3 days ago, the Scythe went from 1.83 bill fucking very quickly down to 1.71. Very quickly down. Both on the exact same day. So people were thinking for a long time that the Scythe was going to be best in slot at Yama because Yama is going to drop the Oath Breaker armor, Oath Plate armor, which has high slash bonus, which is going to make the Scythe really good. And as a general rule of thumb, when bosses have come out in old school RuneScape, the items that they drop are good at the bosses. So everyone just automatically thinks, hey, you know what? It's going to be good for the Scythe. You're going to use the Scythe there. And the Scythe has been astronomically climbing ever since. But yet 3 days ago, exactly 3 days ago, the same day that the Rings of Recoil went crazy for absolutely no reason, the same day that the Rings of Recoil went crazy, we see the Scythe drop 100 million value. Look at these spikes. This is people selling off. This is people with their investments going, I got to get out of here. I got to get out of here. So, look, I said I wasn't going to put my tinfoil hat on, but I am. I'm putting my goddamn tinfoil hat on, ladies and gentlemen. I think someone has leaked some information about Yama, and Rings of Recoil are going to be effective there, and the Scythe of Atua is not. I've got my tinfoil hat on. We're going to find out in 1 month, but come back to this video in 1 month and find out, I guess. Who knows? Who knows? Something fishy seems to be going on in the RuneScape market, though. But what could it possibly be?